Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Valsa Williams and with me is Lalima Aneja Dang with the Midday News. The headlines. Tirth Singh Rawat to be the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. Rajya Sabha adjourned till 2 p.m. amidst opposition uproar over the issue of farm laws. Prime Minister asks BJP MPs to actively participate in the year-long 75th Independence Day celebrations. President Ramnath Kovind says India's higher education system reaches out to serve rural and marginalized sections of society. Scrutiny of nominations for first phase of assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal today. Elections underway in 12 municipal corporations in Andhra Pradesh. No confidence motion moved against the BJP-JJP government in Haryana. Over 2.43 lakh people administered COVID-19 vaccines in the country so far. India's Sub-Junior Women's National Hockey Championship 2021 begins in Simdega at Jharkhand. And in Uttar Pradesh, government launches campaign to make golden cards of Ayushman Bharat scheme today. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news in detail. Tirth Singh Rawat will be the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. It was decided in the meeting of the BJP Legislature Party in Dehradun today. Mr. Rawat will meet Governor Baby Rani Maurya soon to stake claim to form the government. Mr. Rawat and a few ministers may take oath in the evening. More from our correspondent.
A day after stepping down by Tirth Singh Rawat from the post of Chief Minister, Tirth Singh Rawat has been declared as the new Chief Minister of the state. Shri Rawat is a Member of Parliament from Pauri Garhwal. He has headed the state unit of the BJP in the past and has also been a state legislator. So the first education minister after the formation of Uttarakhand in 2000, as he was a member of the Uttar Pradesh Legislative Council. In 2012, he was as a Legislative Assembly member, and in 2013, he became Uttarakhand BJP chief. As per report, Tirth Singh Rawat was chosen because he has a clean image. Mr. Rawat, after being chosen as Chief Minister of the hilly state, said that he will continue to take forward the development works done by Tirth Singh Rawat government. He said that he has never seen such development in the previous decades in Uttarakhand. Raghavesh Pandey, EIR News, Dehradun.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked BJP MPs to actively participate in the year-long celebrations of the 75th Independence Day. Mr. Modi was addressing the BJP Parliamentary Party meeting in Parliament House complex this morning. Party MPs lauded the leadership of Prime Minister Modi in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic and bringing the economy back on track. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi, who briefed the media after the meeting, informed that BJP President JP Nadda said the party's victory in the recent elections shows people's faith in the leadership of Mr. Modi.
In Haryana Assembly, Congress today moved no confidence motion against the BJP-JJP government. The Leader of Opposition in the House, Bhupinder Singh Hooda, moved the motion, which has signature of 27 Congress MLAs out of total 30 MLAs. The Speaker has allowed 2 hours discussion on the no-confidence motion. Mr. Bhupinder Singh Hooda hurled the election manifestos of BJP and JJP while speaking in favour of no-confidence motion. He raised the issue of farmers and demanded the status of martyr for farmers deceased in the farmers' agitation. He said that the state government has failed to provide employment to youth and raise the income of farmers. He opposed the changes made by the state government in the rules reducing the time period needed to get domicile of Haryana from 25 years to 5 years. Our correspondent reports the 90-member Haryana Assembly has currently an effective strength of 88 members. The Speaker of Haryana Assembly has increased 1 hour time for discussion on no-confidence motion. The Rajya Sabha has been adjourned till 2 p.m. following opposition uproar over the issue of farm laws. When the House met after first adjournment at 12 noon, the opposition started raising slogans demanding to repeal the laws. They trooped into the well. Deputy Chairman Harivansh tried to pacify the agitating members. He appealed to members to go back to their seats and allow the House to function. Amidst the opposition continuous uproar, the House was adjourned till 2 p.m. Earlier, when the House met for the day, Leader of Opposition Mallikarjun Kharge said that the opposition parties have given adjournment notices to discuss the farmers' issues. Rajya Sabha Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu said that the matter has already been discussed during the first leg of the budget session. He, however, said the issues can be discussed during the deliberations on other legislative business. Not satisfied, members from opposition parties came into the well and started raising slogans against the government. Amidst the uproar, Mr. Naidu tried to run the House and appealed to the agitating members to maintain decorum. As the noisy scenes continued, the House was adjourned till noon.
The Home Ministry has said that terrorist training camps are still active and imparting training to militants in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. In a written reply in the Rajya Sabha today, Minister of State for Home Affairs G. Kishan Reddy said there are several terrorist training camps in Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir which are engaged in training and infiltrating militants in Jammu and Kashmir. He said the government has consistently emphasized to Pakistan to put an end to cross-border infiltration of terrorists and dismantle the infrastructure which supports terrorist activities. Replying to another query, Minister of State for Home Affairs Nityanand Rai said a total of 943 people of Bangladesh have been apprehended by the border forces in the last year who were attempting to infiltrate into India. He said 97 people from Myanmar and 20 people from Pakistan have also been apprehended by the border forces. The Parliament has passed the National Capital Territory of Delhi Law's Special Provisions Second Amendment Bill 2021, with Lok Sabha approving it today. The lower house cleared the bill amid continuous protest by opposition members, including the Congress and DMK, over the farm laws. The 2011 Act provided for the regularization of unauthorized colonies in the national capital, which existed as on the 31st of March 2002, and where construction took place till the 1st of June 2014. The bill amends this to provide that unauthorized colonies will be identified for regularization as per the National Capital Territory of Delhi Recognition of Property Rights of Residents in Unauthorized Colonies Act 2019 and the National Capital Territory of Delhi Recognition of Property Rights of Residents in Unauthorized Colonies Regulations 2019. The legislation provides that the unauthorized colonies which existed as on the 1st of June 2014 and have 50% development as on the 1st of January 2015 will be eligible for regularization.
The government today said that the Department of Telecommunication has targeted to provide internet connectivity to 5,519 Gram Panchayats by November 2021. In a written reply in Lok Sabha, Electronics and Information Technology Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said 4,112 Gram Panchayats will be connected with Broadband Network Limited and 1,407 will be connected with satellite media under BharatNet project till November 2021. The minister said till the 1st of March 2021, 2,432 Gram Panchayats have been connected with Bharat Broadband Network Limited and 1,155 have been connected with BSNL. The issue of suicide of Dadra and Nagar Haveli MP Mohan Sanjibhai Delkar was raised in the Lok Sabha today. During 0 hour, Shiv Sena MP Vinayak Raut raised the issue, alleging that the MP committed suicide due to continuous harassment by the administration of Dadra and Nagar Haveli. He demanded suspension of SP and DM of the Union Territory and lodging of criminal case against them. JDU MP Kaushlendra Kumar also echoed the same demand. Several members of the opposition parties associated with the issue.
Union Railways Minister Piyush Goyal today said 99% land has been acquired in Gujarat for the Mumbai-Ahmedabad bullet train project. Replying to supplementaries during the question hour in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Goyal said in Maharashtra, on the other hand, only 24% land has been acquired for the project. Union Railways Minister Piyush Goyal today said a detailed COVID-19 related instructions and warnings governing entry and movement of passengers at the stations and in trains has been issued. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Goyal said the instructions cover precautions to be taken while booking and cancellation of tickets, catering service and linen on trains, and protocol regarding entry and movement of passengers in stations and trains in line with the advisory issued by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and Ministry of Home Affairs.
Indian Railways has identified over 322,000 of its employees for vaccination in the next phase. In reply to a question in the Lok Sabha today, Railway Minister Piyush Goyal informed that vaccination of railway employees is being done in a phased manner. He added that in the first phase, Railway Healthcare and Railway Protection Force (RPF) staff are being vaccinated. Mr. Goyal said that till now, 18,964 Railway Healthcare staff and 48,994 RPF staff have been vaccinated. A total of over 2 crore 43 lakh people have been administered COVID-19 vaccines in the country so far. Union Health Ministry said that more than 13 lakh 59,000 people have been inoculated with COVID-19 doses in the last 24 hours. Meanwhile, the country's COVID-19 recovery rate reached 96.96%, with a total recovery of more than 20,000 patients in the last 24 hours. The ministry said that more than 1 crore 9 lakh patients have already been recovered from this disease. Presently, the total number of active cases in the country is 1,84,598, which comprises only 1.64% of the total positive cases. A total number of 17,921 new cases have been reported in the country in the past 24 hours, taking the cumulative positive cases to over 1 crore 12 lakh. The Health Ministry said 133 deaths have been reported during the last 24 hours, taking the toll to over 1,58,000 across the country.
Madhya Pradesh on Tuesday reported 457 fresh COVID cases, while 382 patients were discharged from hospitals, taking the count of recoveries in Madhya Pradesh to 2,57,942. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
In Madhya Pradesh, COVID positivity rate increased to 3.0%. Indore reported highest COVID cases with 157 new cases, followed by Bhopal with 86 fresh COVID cases. With 2 patients succumbing to the infection, the death toll rose to 3,874. No fresh COVID case was reported in 10 of the total 52 districts in the state. Meanwhile, Additional Chief Secretary Health Mr. Mohammad Suleiman informed that by the end of this month, the vaccination facility will be expanded to more than 5,000 centers in the state. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Telangana state has reported 189 fresh COVID cases during the last 24 hours. With this, the number of cases reported so far in the state reached 3,342. Recoveries also have gone up to 98.85%, and nearly 2,97,000 have recovered so far. Meanwhile, following the death of 2 more persons, the deaths relating to COVID and other comorbidities have gone up to 1,646 in the state. Currently, the state has little over 1,600 active cases. In Himachal Pradesh, 8 persons were killed and 11 others were injured as a private bus fell into a deep gorge at Tisa in Chamba district this morning. The ill-fated bus was on its way to Chamba from Bandodi. The injured have been admitted in a nearby hospital. The condition of 4 persons is said to be critical. Chief Minister Jairam Thakur has ordered an inquiry.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has asked BJP MPs to actively participate in the year-long celebrations of 75th Independence Day.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Tirath Singh Rawat to be the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. Rajya Sabha adjourned till 2 p.m. amidst opposition uproar over the issue of farm laws. Prime Minister asked BJP MPs to actively participate in the year-long 75th Independence Day celebrations. President Ramnath Kovind says India's higher education system reaches out to serve rural and marginalized sections of society. Scrutiny of nominations for the first phase of assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal today. Elections underway in 12 municipal corporations in Andhra Pradesh. No confidence motion moved against the BJP-JJP government in Haryana. Over 2 crore 43 lakh people administered COVID-19 vaccines in the country so far. India's Sub-Junior Women's National Hockey Championship 2021 begins at Simdega in Jharkhand. And in Uttar Pradesh, government launches campaign to make golden cards of Ayushman Bharat scheme today. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
President Ramnath Kovind has said that India's higher education system has expanded to reach out to serve the rural and marginalized sections of the society. Addressing the 16th annual convocation of Tiruvallur University at Vellore today, the President told that India has become the third largest education system in the world but still has to aspire for greater heights.
The National Education Policy 2020 is a well-planned and decisive step in that direction. It has a holistic vision of transforming the way children and youth will be educated to make learning a part of personal development while also serving the needs of the society. To this end, it brings together the best of our ancient heritage and the best of modern learning. It gives emphasis on moral education and awareness of Indian culture.
Applauding the great works of poet Tiruvallur, he said that it was necessary to imbibe his noble teachings. He recalled the Vellore Sepoy uprising of 1806. He said it was one of the precursors to our independence movement.
The Vellore Sepoy uprising of 1806 was one of the precursors to our independence movement. It is my great privilege to be the chief guest of the 16th annual convocation of the Tiruvallur University.
President Kovind described that imparting quality education to students, many of whom are from economically and educationally backward regions, was a noble cause. He listed out the engineering marvel of Grand Anicut and the achievements of great mathematicians and scientists like S. Ramanujan, the Nobel laureates C.V. Raman and S. Chandrasekhar, the only Indian Governor-General C. Rajgopalachari, and two of his illustrious predecessors, R. Venkataraman and Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who are great sons of this soil. The President expressed his happiness that 65% of students in the university were women.
It has blossomed into a premier institution, imparting quality education to students, many of whom are from economically and educationally backward regions. This also includes women who come from socially challenged sections. I am happy to note that 65% of the students in this university are women. Our daughters and sisters are breaking barriers and achieving success in all fields. This is clear from the fact that today, out of 66 students conferred with gold medals for academic excellence, 55 of them are women students.
He said that when the women of our country are educated, it not only secures their own future, but also of the entire country.
In poll-bound West Bengal, scrutiny of nominations is going on today for the first phase of assembly elections. 250 nominations have been filed for the first phase, 28 nominations for 4 seats in Bankura, 52 nominations for 4 seats in Jhargram, 56 nominations for 6 seats in West Medinipur, 36 nominations for 7 seats in East Medinipur, and 78 nominations for 9 seats in Purulia have been filed. In this phase, 30 assembly constituencies across 5 districts will go for polls on the 27th of this month. The last date for withdrawal of candidature is on the 12th of March. Nomination for the second phase of polling is going on. Chief Minister and TMC candidate Mamata Banerjee has filed nomination from Nondigram constituency in East Medinipur today. She submitted her nomination papers at the SDO office in Haldia a short while ago. BJP candidate for this seat, Shubhendu Adhikari, will file his nomination on the 12th of March, which is the last day for filing of nomination for the second phase. Assembly election for 294 constituencies will be held in 8 phases from the 27th of March to the 29th of April. Counting will take place on the 2nd of May. The Election Commission ordered the removal of West Bengal Director General of Police Virendra yesterday. It has appointed P. Neeraj Nayan as DG and IGP in his place with immediate effect. The EC said the decision has been taken after reviewing the poll preparedness in the state.
In Assam, the scrutiny of nomination papers for the first phase of polls has begun. A total of 283 candidates have submitted nomination in this phase. Several senior leaders, including Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal, State President of Congress Ripun Bora, and Assam Gana Parishad Atul Bora are in the fray in this phase. On the other hand, the submission of nomination papers is underway in the second phase. 39 seats to be covered in the second phase, where polling will be held on the 1st of April. The BJP has released the list of its 3 candidates for ensuing assembly election in Assam and 2 candidates for West Bengal assembly elections. The party has fielded Milan Das from Hailakandi, Parmanand Rajbongshi from Sipajhar and Ramakrishna Ghosh from Hojai seat in Assam. The BJP has given tickets to Hiranmoy Chattopadhyay from Kharagpur Sadar and Supriti Chatterjee from Barjora Assembly seat in West Bengal. Participating in an AIR News talk show last night in Guwahati, additional CEO Debo Prasad Mishra said that 1.45 lakh polling personnel have been trained so far. He said that as per guidelines, auxiliary polling stations to be set up to accommodate voters as maximum 1,000 voters could exercise their voting rights in a polling booth. Joint CEO Lakhinanandan Saharia said that the D or doubtful voters could not exercise voting rights if not cleared by the foreigner tribunals after due process. He said that there are 1,08,596 D voters in Assam. Mr. Saharia mentioned that nearly 97,000 voters have downloaded the e-Epic so far.
The Left Democratic Front, LDF in Kerala, has announced the partial candidate list for the upcoming assembly election. CPIM released the names of 83 candidates of the total 85 seats today. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan will contest from Dharmadam, K. Shailaja from Matanur, Kadakampalli Surendran from Karakuttam and K.T. Jalil to contest from Thavanur. The party is contesting from 74 seats. Meanwhile, the NDA candidate list is in the final stage. BJP is likely to release the list tomorrow. The elections for urban local bodies in Andhra Pradesh involving 12 municipal corporations and up to 71 municipalities took off in the 13 districts of the state today. An average of 32.23 polling has been recorded as of now.
Union Home Secretary Ajay Kumar Bhalla has said that Ayushman CAPF scheme for personnel and dependents of Central Armed Police Forces will be rolled out in a phased manner across the country. Speaking at the 52nd Raising Day function of the Central Industrial Security Force, CISF, Mr. Bhalla said that the scheme was launched in Guwahati last month, taking care of the medical needs of such police force personnel. He said under the scheme, all CAPF personnel and their families will receive free treatment in more than 24,000 hospitals. He said a health card will also be given to all CAPF personnel and their families so that they can receive a medical checkup once every year and their families once in 3 years. Speaking on the occasion, CISF Director General Subodh Jaiswal said that CISF is trying to establish itself as a cost-effective force in view of the future challenges by establishing coordination between human resources and modern technology. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has greeted all CISF personnel on the occasion of their 52nd Raising Day today. He said the nation is grateful for their invaluable service in safeguarding and protecting several key government institutions and private sector units. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also greeted the courageous Central Industrial Security Forces. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said their role in furthering national safety and progress is deeply valued. Home Minister Amit Shah said, from shielding India's vital establishments to serving the nation during disasters, CISF plays a key role in country's growth. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh greeted CISF personnel and their families. He said the CISF has played a crucial role in safeguarding India's strategic assets.
The Uttar Pradesh government launched a campaign today to make golden cards of Ayushman Bharat scheme across the state. Our correspondent reports that the campaign aims to drive awareness about Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana ABPMJY across the state and enable beneficiaries, especially those residing in rural and remote areas, to avail cashless healthcare worth 5 lakh rupees per family per year.
The campaign rolled out from today and will continue till 24th of March. Under the campaign, free Ayushman Golden Cards will be given to those families who have still not taken the benefit of the scheme. Golden Cards will be made at Panchayat offices, Anganwadi centers, primary schools, health and wellness centers, community health centers, and will be available at PDS shops also. The initiative is focused on generating large-scale awareness about the scheme and its benefits, accelerating the Ayushman card generation and increasing utilization. Recently, the Chief Secretary of State said that still more than 1 crore 26 lakh families need to get golden cards. Till now, 1 crore 20 lakh beneficiaries have got their golden cards. Government has allocated 1300 crore rupees for Ayushman Bharat scheme and 142 crore rupees for Ayushman Bharat Mukhyamantri Jan Arogya Yojana. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
In Odisha, Indian Oil Corporation Limited and Odisha Industrial Infrastructure Development Corporation will jointly set up a state-of-the-art plastic park in Paradeep in Odisha. A shareholder agreement signed yesterday in the virtual presence of Chief Minister of Odisha Naveen Patnaik and Union Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister Dharmendra Pradhan seeks to develop the project as the first fully operational plastic park in the country.
Speaking on the occasion, Union Minister Mr. Pradhan said that the park will facilitate the establishment of downstream industrial and manufacturing clusters in Odisha. The minister said that sprawling over 120 acres, the park will be a game changer in strengthening the industrial climate and generating employment and self-employment besides establishing Odisha as a behemoth in the areas of plastic, polymer, fiber yarns and petrochemical. Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik said that the plastic park at Paradeep will be a very important infrastructural support to the downstream polymer industry in the state. The project, being developed at a cost of about 107 crore rupees, can accommodate 25 industries of various sizes, involving an investment of more than 500 crore rupees and employment to about 1,600 persons. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
In Jharkhand, Chief Minister Hemant Soren inaugurated the 8-day-long 11th Hockey India Sub-Junior Nationals Women's Championship by drifting a flick with the hockey stick today at Simdega district. The championship, scheduled from March 10th to 18th, begins today. Mr. Gyanendra Ningombam, President of Hockey India, welcomed CM Hemant Soren on the occasion. CM Soren interacted with the players on the ground and said that Simdega has been a nursery of hockey players for the country, and hosting a national-level championship in the district is a proud moment for the state and its people. A total of 7 matches will be played between the participating teams on the inaugural day. Total 22 teams from across the country are participating in the Hockey India Championship.
And now let's take a look at the weather forecast for today. In the national capital, Delhi, the maximum temperature will be around 31 degrees Celsius. The temperature went down to 19 degrees while it experienced light rain yesterday at many places. Mumbai, with a mainly clear sky, will have a maximum temperature of 36 degrees Celsius. The minimum temperature will be 21 degrees. Chennai is likely to have a partly cloudy sky with a maximum temperature rising up to 33 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will also have a partly cloudy sky with a maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius. Srinagar will have a generally cloudy sky and there is also a possibility of light rain. The upper level of temperature will be 10 degrees Celsius as the lower level will decrease. Jammu will have a partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. The minimum temperature will be 17 degrees Celsius while the maximum around 29 degrees.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Tirath Singh Rawat to be the new Chief Minister of Uttarakhand. Rajya Sabha adjourned till 2 p.m. amidst opposition uproar over the issue of farm laws. Prime Minister asked BJP MPs to actively participate in year-long 75th Independence Day celebrations. President Ramnath Kovind says India's higher education system reaches out to serve rural and marginalized sections of society. Scrutiny of nominations for first phase of assembly elections in Assam and West Bengal today. Elections underway in 12 municipal corporations in Andhra Pradesh. No confidence motion moved against BJP-JJP government in Haryana. Over 2.43 lakh people administered COVID-19 vaccines in the country so far. India Sub-Junior Women's National Hockey Championship 2021 begins at Simdega in Jharkhand. And in Uttar Pradesh, government launches campaign to make golden cards of Ayushman Bharat scheme today. And with that, we end the midday news.